Give me 3 things that people should try to find out as early as possible.
3 or 4?
3 or 4 or 5.
3.
Whatever you think.
I'll give you 3, and then I'll ask you yours unless we share them. If you have to get to know somebody quickly, or want to begin that journey, go here. Number 1, ask somebody. This is irrespective of religion. How do you feel about Jesus? Great template, because right there you're going to find out who somebody is, where they're headed, what church means to them, what religion means to them. Like maybe the person says, Jesus, I'm into Muhammad. Good to know. Maybe they say, well, I'm not really into a person. I'm into the universe. Cool. Like that's why you don't say, what do you believe about God? What do you believe about religion? No, bring up the name Jesus. It's a hack because it either activates something, deadens something, or immediately reveals somebody. So that's for everybody. Find out what they believe about Jesus. That's the quickest way to get to spiritual depth. And we do this with friends and do not share our faith. Like it's my favorite thing to do is say, tell me about Jesus. Oh my gosh, the things that people have to say. But by that one question, how do you feel? How do you see Jesus? People will talk for 15 minutes and you get to find out their values, some of their worldviews, and what's deeply important to them. And it's a great conversation starter. But that to me shows the template. So now you know, now you're not going to be wondering, this guy I'm dating, will we ever be in church together? Will he lead me in spirituality? Well, now you're going to get a little clue.
I will say on that too, though. I mean, we met in church.
Yeah.
And our marriage wasn't perfect.
Says who?
Do you know what I mean? Like, just because they love Jesus, because I see this all the time. Like,
oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, if you see a guy in church, they're the ones you should marry. And it's like, is it though? Like, not necessarily. Like, everyone has secrets and lies and things that they're keeping.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's not a be all end all. Like,
it's a gateway to how they think spiritually.
Right.
So even if the guy has a great answer, Jesus, he's my Lord and Savior. He's my guy. Okay, cool. But at least
still gonna be things to work.
At least you know you're able to frame this. So it baffles me how people will get into deep relationships and they've never landed the spiritual plane. Like how did you not know? How did you not know that you were about to marry somebody that wanted nothing to do with the God that you profess to serve, or if you're a Scientologist and you're sitting across from somebody who is Jewish, you gotta handle that. You gotta figure it out. And that's why I always say, bring up Jesus real quick. Because that's the definer. Well, Jesus, I can't believe those Christians. I am cool, now you know. Right. So it's just a great little party starter. Second one that really, really matters is, how do you feel about money? Money. Okay, that's wow. Cool. Why wait to get to that? Because in that moment, you can find out what they believe. You can find out limited beliefs. You can find out intuitive fences. You can find out future pressure. So if someone's response is scary, shaky, confident, whatever, now you can start digging in a little bit and you find out, cool, what was your family?
Can you explain limiting beliefs?
Well, a limiting belief is like, I grew up in a family that we barely made it. So I'm hoping to earn a living to at least have a better Christmas than I had. Cool. Now you know.
Yeah.
Like I want, my template was different than yours. My financial template was one of complete freedom because I had parents that backed everything I wanted to do. If I was passionate and I was dedicated to it, I didn't know that there was a limited amount of money. Right. I just thought parents do this. So my early induction into financial living was like, if I believe in it, I'm going to put money into it. Like, where's the money at?
Yeah.
And you came from a different mentality where your parents were a little bit more measured with that.
Yeah.
But that came.
They were pastors too.
And
so
we've been able to take our templates on money and build our own, which is the goal. But we had to know each other's in the first place. And still, we'll meet with couples who've been married for a decade and they haven't had these conversations. Yeah. And it's like, why don't you ask your wife why she spends that money the moment it hits your account? Oh, she just doesn't care. Maybe it's not that. Maybe she grew up in a house where, man, before it was even there, it was already spoken for. So she's still recovering from that trauma, but it just gives you a lot more depth to understand, who you're dealing with, who you're looking at. I like this question too. How do you feel about kids?
Yeah, that's an important one.
Yeah. And then you just start kicking that around for a little bit and you find out some very interesting things. I mean, obviously there's a world where the guy will just play whatever foot he thinks you want him to stand on. Oh, I love kids. They're going to be great. Well, how were you raised?
Yeah. Well, one of the questions would be, how do you want to discipline your, like, what is your view on discipline? What is your view on raising kids? Because having kids is like, people think about having kids, they think about the baby stage.
Yeah.
They think that's so fun. It's so cute. Like, I can't wait to have a cute baby.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but that doesn't last long, because then you got to raise those little.
Oh, I love kids. I can't wait to have a baby. You like baby pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go to a little shop and get that done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a different world. And then the other one that I love.
And on that point, though, it's important to choose a partner that what you see in them character-wise.
Yeah.
Do you want that to come out in your kids one day as well? Because those character pieces don't go away.
Yeah.
That's who you are. That's who you marry. And you're also going to raise little people that are going to have some of those. So it's like, it's also a really good check of like, do I? You know?
Yeah. And to double down on that, I don't care about the characteristics that are not great, but I do care about then, does this person actively get involved in self-care?
Right.
Do they have a therapist?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a group of people they lean on? Like, it's one thing if a guy is a jerk, but he's like, hey, I got some issues in my life that I'm working on. Great. I'm not looking for perfect people, but you need to know, like, is the person that you're interested in, do they already know that they need help? Because if they don't, what they're saying is they're good.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get into this relationship, even this marriage, and now them going to get help is a new thing. You want that to be the first thing.
Yeah.
Like, we got married. We're back from our honeymoon. I got to go to my therapist because now more than ever, I'm going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of language that, reveals a template that you can build on.
Yeah.
This is a good one. And this is especially for Christian couples. How do you feel about sex?
Mm-hmm.
Why would we wait to have these conversations? Like, why is this taboo? So what you're looking for when you have this conversation is somebody that has a response that matches your value. Doesn't need to be intimate, doesn't need to be like heavy on the details, but I like finding out. I mean, couples that are married don't have that sentence set.
Yeah. I mean, especially from our generation and up.
Yeah.
The sex conversations don't typically happen.
No.
Even in marriage. Like, what do you like? What's your,
Yeah.
What's your favorite position?
Right.
Not that you would do that
Early.
early before you get married, but like,
yeah,
in a marriage, people don't even have those conversations because it's awkward.
Because it reveals template. So I like our daughter is standing on their front foot because if as a couple, we would be more on remember Meet the Fockers with Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah, you say that better than I do.
Yeah, we're not actually, go ahead and say it. It's bad.
Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, bub, it doesn't translate. Australians, it's Meet the Fockers.
Fockers. I can't say it. Hey, Fockers.
There you go. In this movie, this is what I got to deal with on a daily basis with an Australian. It's a beautiful title, and now it's a curse word. She's a sex therapist, and they just talk openly and lovingly about sex.
Funny.
And then the other family is just buttoned down. They don't talk about it. They're weird about it. I like, especially if it's a woman talking to a man, you don't have to get into, but like, what's your upbringing when it comes to sex?
Yeah.
And what are you looking for? You're looking to see what their families talked about, what's taboo, what's not. And here's why it matters. If I told Ava this, I mean, she has a pretty solid cheat sheet and it still doesn't work. She still has to learn the hard way. I love you, Bowie. But if you sit down, and I've taught them to ask this, like, what's your relationship with your dad about when it comes to talk about sex?
Porn, all of that.
So if you're across from a young man who says, I don't really talk to my dad about that stuff, there's a huge chance he's talking to club.com.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know that, Ava, Charlie. Y'all need to know that if a man is not getting his sexual information and education and illumination from somebody that shares your values, he's going to find it somewhere. Mm-hmm. So we see a whole generation of guys that their sex isn't talked about in the house. Where do you think they're going to find out their information?
Right.
So all of his sexual expectation, appetite, desires are the fruit of pornography and TikTok and algorithms. Mm-hmm. You need to know that.
Yeah.
Because your template is not that. Sex means this to you. It means this to our family. We talk about it in this way. So these are things that, and let's just say if you're listening to this right now, you're like, I didn't do any of this, and I'm in a crappy situation. hey, it is never too late to start this. In fact, that's actually a perfect time. Wherever you're at is the perfect time to start having some of these conversations. But also, it really starts to dismantle a lot of frustration. Just with conversation, like, man, I didn't know that. It's like, hey, I've never really talked about this because I went through this in my household and it made me feel weird. And next thing you know, you have a discussion, you got a bridge. So I like that.